All right. Welcome back. We've got new information related to Errol Spence Jr. and Errol Spence Jr.'s former camp with Derek James and a potential new trainer. His words on the street. I did not get this from the horse's mouth about who his new trainer could be. Let's talk about that and a big change in that camp as well with Jermell Charlo breaking from Derek James as well. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be dishing a little bit of tea about Errol Spence Jr.'s training camp, potential new trainer for Errol Spence Jr. Seems as if that roster over there in Dallas is getting thinner and thinner. Before I get into the details of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a huge difference to the channel. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you to Barbara D, Matty O, Daryl McKinney. Brother, you are again. You sent me that note for sure. You're in my prayers. Your mother's in my prayers once again. And I hope you guys are staying strong and doing well. But let's get into this because it appears as if Errol Spence Jr. could be looking into training with the same trainer that Jermell Charlo is using, as it is now said by sources I think are very reasonably trustworthy that Jermell Charlo has left Derek James as well and will be training exclusively with Juan Guzman. Now, I had a conversation maybe, I want to say maybe 7 months ago, something like that, with somebody that is fairly well connected with that camp. And when I mean fairly, I mean like very well connected with that camp, where Juan Guzman was brought up as an example of what could help Errol Spence Jr. in his career, that working with somebody like a Juan Guzman, just like what happened with Jermell Charlo, could make Errol Spence Jr. a better fighter. And this was said well before any of the money demands from Derek James came at Errol Spence Jr., saying that he wanted an extra $2 million because he wanted to be paid out of the total pay-per-view revenue of the fight. My understanding is that came because of he started working with Ryan Garcia. Maybe it was a case of, the money he would have gotten from Jermell Charlo. But also I'd heard, shout out to my guy, Upper Echelon. If you guys aren't familiar with his channel, make sure you guys go subscribe to Upper Echelon. Very, very good channel. Very knowledgeable about the sport of boxing. Comes by the live streams on a regular basis. He has connections with the camp in Dallas as well. He said that it is his understanding that Jermell Charlo is exclusively training with Juan Guzman now. So the combination of those two makes it very possible that Juan Guzman could be the next trainer for Errol Spence Jr. If you didn't know, originally Errol Spence Jr. was with Derrick James, and Jermell Charlo was with Ronnie Shields. So Ronnie Shields trained Jermell for the majority of, not the majority, for the early portion of his career. Jermell Charlo felt like he wasn't getting enough time with Ronnie Shields. And so Jermell Charlo followed Errol and went to Derrick James. Very, very successful. But then a few fights ago, felt like he needed a little bit more in the corner, needed, more instruction or a different set of eyes. So he brought in Juan Guzman, who is a former professional fighter, very, very good professional fighter. I think he's either Puerto Rican or Dominican, but a guy that Jermell Charlo really trusted, and Jermell Charlo really felt like improved him as a fighter and helped allow him to ultimately win the undisputed title at 154 pounds. Didn't help a lot with Canelo Alvarez, but hey, I think that was probably the weight jump. So you have a natural kind of transition if Errol were to move. If Errol was to move over and continue to train in the same camp as Jermell Charlo. I do believe Jermell is training out of Houston. Errol Spence Jr. is in Dallas, so that's not very far away from Houston, from Dallas to Houston, or from Houston to Dallas. Because I do believe for periods of time, Jermell Charlo was training in Dallas with Derrick James, and Juan Guzman was there as well. So I'm very interested to see whether or not that's going to be the move that he makes. But again, I spoke with people in that camp, and they said they specifically mentioned Juan Guzman as somebody that really helped Jermell Charlo, and how something like that could help Errol learn more. And a matter of fact, I can tell you when it was. It was not too long after the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. But just so that you know, those kind of sentiments had been boiling for a while. I knew about them as far back as the Sean Porter fight, right? Before the car accident in the Sean Porter fight. But at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out. Of course, Errol has been moved up in the rankings to the #1 contender spot for the WBC. And he was in the ring with Sebastian Fundora. So there's a very big likelihood that his next fight could be with Sebastian Fundora. I think that is that's a tough fight, man. And Errol just be taking tough fights, man. Sebastian Fundora is such a big fighter, awkward fighter. He was definitely about to get pieced up though by Tim Tszyu. Can't lie. Until that kind of freak cut happened over Sebastian Fundora, over the top of Tim Tszyu's head. But anyway, he's in the 154 pound division now for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does. I would love to see that Ryan Garcia fight though. I'm not gonna hold you on that one. I definitely would like to see him fight Ryan Garcia. One of my guys that comes by the live stream. Shout out to my guy T Orlando, to T Orlando Esquire, who said, man, I just trying to get Ryan Garcia hurt. Nah, man, I'm just trying to see Errol hurt somebody because I want to see him in a good fight, man. I want to see him look good. I'm an Errol Spence Jr. fan. I like Ryan Garcia too, but I really like Errol Spence, and he's really given a lot of excitement to boxing fans. He's a really good dude who is getting mistreated a good amount with the way that people talk about him now. So I just want to see the dude shine. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.